My name is Quinn. I'm the director of Midnight by August. We shot May 21st and May 22nd, 2022. Hey, Evie, can you get inside and film the actual scene, like what the shot is? What I took away, at least, is I know I can do better. I'm proud of the project as a whole, and I don't think there were any failures. What I set out to accomplish with this project was accomplished. I wanted to make this film. People told me that I should make this film, or that I couldn't make this film, or that they didn't want to help me make this film. And just by saying that says to me that you don't believe in the project, or that you don't think it should be made. For this project, what I wanted to prove to myself is that I'm a competent filmmaker and I can make films. I wanted to prove to myself that I can produce and executive produce. I wanted to prove to myself that I can take care of a crew, I can take care of a team of people, and I can treat them well. I can have fun. I can feed them. I can guide them in a direction, and that for me. That was the goal of this project. We were shooting 2 days. We were shooting 2 nights, overnights, 12-hour days, and we shot everything in the script, all 12 pages, in 24 hours total. We wrapped at 6 a.m. every day. And we can go back.
Quick question.
It's kind of made me proud to know that the vision that I had for this project was achieved completely. Everything we captured is the way we wanted to capture it. My cinematographer told me that there were no surprises while shooting. And action. So yeah, this was a micro-budget film. I was the executive producer and the producer. I also wrote and directed it. I think I have good stories to tell, and I want the opportunity to direct them. And I would also say I went to people that I thought I could trust, some of my closest friends, and even just producers that I knew, and they were all interested, but none of them were willing to take that risk, which blows my mind because this is such a small project, and I think the project itself had so much potential. I saw it 2 ways. Road 1, I find an executive producer, which means that I've officially got money in the bank, and I found someone to finance my film, which is a huge success. And I would have been proud of that, because that's like a big accomplishment. Since I wasn't able to do that, I had to go with option B. I need to prove to myself that I have that vision and that I can see it through by myself. I think I think a lot of my friends know me as a sort of an artsy, creative guy who's not very capable of doing things by himself. He never takes the initiative. And I just wanted to prove that I know that I can take the initiative. For this project, I didn't want to rely on the people that I usually rely on. If I constantly rely on others, I'm never going to be self-sufficient. So for me, I wanted to work with completely new people that don't know me, that are familiar with me, who I've met in the past year, basically, and lead them.
Settle.
Colin was our first AC. He was one of the most professional guys I've ever worked with. Colin elevated the production to another level. Joey was our DIT. He's also the editor. He's just a very kind human being. Joey is very passionate about editing and DIT. Kai was our boom op. She was very joyful to work with. Kai was awesome, and to see her enthusiasm about sound in person is just contagious. So on our G&E team, we had Raj. Raj was helping out with lighting. He was the best. The only reason this project looks so amazing is because of SJ. SJ was the production designer. She did all of the costume and wardrobe. She did all of the props and set deck. She did everything. Everything you see on the screen was curated by SJ. Having her by my side was extremely resourceful because she's an expert in production design. Yeah, and then there was Kanishk. He was the DP. Kanishk and I did some prep for the shoot to make sure that the vision I had for the project was very clear. I was very specific about what I wanted, how I wanted it, and it was his job to translate that. Kanishk and I would have these pre-production meetings where I would basically try to inspire him to create. Well, we had Andrea, who was our amazing first AD. The only reason that we wrapped on time was because of her. We were very lucky to have her because she got us out on time every day. And then we had Laura, our producer. Laura basically saw this project through from start to finish. Somebody that I could lean on. If there was ever a problem, I would call Laura. Paul was our sound operator. I love Paul because he asks a lot of questions and he's very methodical in his approach to sound. And he's meticulous about what he captures and how he captures it. Tiffany was the makeup artist. We have a lot of special effects and makeup in the film, one of them being the wig. She was somebody that I could bounce ideas off of, and she would basically just tell me, yeah, that's doable, that's not doable. Wes was our gaffer. He was an absolute superhero. He was quick, he was alert, and he was always ready to move a light or adapt when he needed to. So he was awesome. Then we had Morgan, who was our line producer. She basically ran the whole operation. She's essentially the glue that held everything together. I also wanted to involve my family with this project a little bit. No one in my family knows what I do, so I wanted to kind of involve them a little bit and give them some insight into what it's like to be a filmmaker. So I involved my brother Liam to help out with G&E, and I involved my sister Evie to just sort of shadow me. She also helped with art. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of open their eyes to see what my job is like. For me, what this story is about, it's about how as we age, we lose our innocence, and sometimes that's not our choice. And sometimes it is. So we have this character, Faye, who lost her innocence at an early age and is coping with that. She's been coping with that trauma. She has a nihilistic outlook on the world. And she's also a very cruel person. But then you have Abby, her sister, who's the opposite of that. Abby is younger and she just graduated high school. So Abby is still full of innocence and full of life. She's very sheltered and she's very religious. The downside to that is she's fanatical and she suffers from anxiety and OCD because she wants to be perfect in the eyes of God. I thought it would be interesting to stick a character in between two opposing forces with completely opposite beliefs and experiences. So you've got this character, August, who has to basically choose between the girl he's dating and her sister. So you've got these two sisters. I like that contrast. I like that dichotomy. One is good and full of life. The other is evil and twisted.
Oh, this is Abby's. This is, that's in the film. Most of the time I'm too exhausted to drive. I exhaust myself usually throughout the day, so by the time I'm driving, I want to just relax, and the easiest way to relax is to use your fingers to drive. Because you don't have to keep a grip, you don't have to, it's very low effort.
For me, the story is basically about how we lose our innocence as we age. And I thought it would be a good idea to focus on adolescence when you're becoming an adult, but not quite an adult. I think a lot of times in your formative years, you're searching for your own authority, while at the same time running away from your parents or your problems. In the process of that, lose your innocence, and you have to overcome obstacles and you have to face challenges. It's easy to understand. It's a very simple, digestible story. You weren't recording.
But it's supposed to rain soon.